Pick me or pick somebody else, I don't really care. Just leave me alone. Quote the Shredder, nevermore and
Hey man, it's Adam Pacitti, the German. If you want to know what the Germans are all about, then you better pick me, and we're gonna have a great victory. I promise!
Big Papa Plum, you step in the room with me, you'll find out why the man with the largest arms in the world does what he wants. You'll find out why they call me Superstar.
I'm King Ross and they call me a sexual wank pheasant. You know why? It's because I'm the finest physical specimen on the planet Earth today. You got the guts to take me on?
Hello, I'm King Ross, you're a filthy mark, and it's that bastard time of the month once again where I pick all of the WTF moments out of a WWE pay-per-view. This time we have a pay-per-view not called Backlash, as all you hashtag haters were saying towards my pal Jinder Mahal from WWE Backlash 2017.
It's John Clark, you worthless piece of shit!
JBL still has a job even though the Shikara, even though they told JBL that he plainly shouldn't have a job anymore, as this footage shows. Next we have Big Byron Bertie Bollocks, who was talking about the veteran experience Dolph Ziggler had over Shinsuke Nax in that first match at WWE Backlash 2017. And before we continue with this point, don't give me, oh, Big Byron Bertie Bollocks was talking about Ziggler's WWE experience compared to Nakamura's WWE experience, because earlier in the match they were talking about Nakamura's IWGP Championships, which means they were having a holistic approach to everything. Everything was included. The experience was from everything. Anyway, the point being, they were calling Ziggler the veteran of the match, even though Nakamura made his debut in August of 2002, compared to Ziggler's in-ring debut of November 2004. I don't know about you, but August 2002 is far further into the past than November 2004. Hey! So after hearing that huge scope, tell me who's the vet then, pals? And I don't mean the kind of vet that operates on animals, because that would mean neither of them. And if we're talking about neither of them, then why are we here? Wasn't it strange watching a WWE match where the lad wearing the patriotic tights was the heel and the foreigner, even though he is a foreigner was the face? Heh? Aye, it was strange, wasn't it? As we all know from WWE's perspective, some bastards have the gall to speak a foreign language and not look like a Westerner. How bloody dare they? You can choose these sort of things. Just click that option when you just come out the womb, you know? But at the end of the day, since the roles have been flipped reversed, bugger you, Blazing Squad, this just shows how much of a pointless dick Dolph Ziggler is these days, that he can take a time-honoured wrestling tradition and shove it straight up Vince McMahon's Cadbury and out of his mouth and into his belly button and out of his arse again. Japanese. Next we move on to face Flip Me Tom, who screamed welcome to WWE Shinsuke Nakamura seconds after Shinsuke Nax defeated Dolph Ziggler puffs. What on earth do you mean, Tom? Welcome to WWE. He's been working for WWE for the last 16 bastard months. NXT isn't a separate company, it's called WWE NXT. WWE and Vince McMahon still presumably sign off on all the checks, it's all under one umbrella. Stop making something that doesn't really mean that much, and let's put things in perspective here. All Shinsuke Nax did was beat Dolph Ziggler, a man who's been lost in no man's land for bare time, in the curtain jerker on a B-rated pay-per-view. It was nothing special. Stop making things like that seem way more special than they actually are, because at the end of the day all you do is make yourself sound like a bunch of tits, which of course, if you've ever heard a tit talk, is completely ridiculous. Some Geordie colloquialisms are ridiculously stupid. Right then, wasn't there a bit of tomfoolery in this match? The cleaner, Tyler Breeze, better than the cleaner, Kenny Omega. Me bowels are root, I'm saying it, and here's why.
Oh, yeah, oh.
You see, Kenny uses a broom while Tyler Breeze uses a mop. Kenny can only sweep things away while Tyler can sweep things away while also providing a soapy wash. And bugger my bum, don't we know that soapy washes are totes amazeballs? Tyler can do more than Kenny, and while we're talking about Tyler, doesn't he look like what Kenny Omega and Hulk Hogan's child would look like if they were to do the sex? Preferably not on tape.
Now move in, now move out, hands up, now hands down, back up, tell me what you're going to do now. Breathe in, now breathe out, hands up, now hands down, back up, tell me what you're going to do now. Keep rolling.
Now we all know how Tyler Breeze goes by gorgeous on Twitter. I suppose after this bit of undercover work, he'll now be going by grandma. Nah, he won't.
It's John O'Clock, you worthless piece of shit.
Yes, while Tyler Breeze was dressed up as a grandma, JBL brought up the fact that Moolah was back from the dead and Mae Young had come back with her glove, even though the glove had grown up to be Will from the In-Betweeners and hardy, and it wasn't a glove anyway, it was a human hand, of course, you silly prick. Either way, stay classy, JBL, with comments like that, you
Piece of shit.
Now, one thing nobody expected heading into WWE Backlash 2017 was for the Usos to turn face. And by Jove, by Bon Jovi, by Chris Jericho, did they do it in the best way ever. The bigger WTF moment here is the fact that JBL didn't see the dress flying towards his head. He's supposed to be sat there at ringside commentating on action that's happening in the ring, yet when a dress was thrown from the centre of the ring towards his head, he couldn't see it coming. What's going on there, John? I'll tell you. You sat there at ringside having a little Tommy tug while looking at pictures of big sweaty women. You dirty bastard. Woohoo!
It's John O'Clock, you worthless piece of shit.
Now then, JBL had irony spilling out of every single orifice he has. His nostrils, his ears, his mouth, his nipples, his dick, his arsehole, his toenails. They were coming out everywhere because he asked a silly question that I can't remember. JBL pondered, does a cockroach know it's a cockroach? Maybe it just survives everything. Well, you would know, you massive human-sized cockroach. That'll tell him. JBL, as we all know, has kept his job in WWE despite being a big old bastard cockroach who deserved to be fired. Allegedly. If only there was a set of words or a phrase or a sentence that I could think of to describe what JBL is.
Worthless piece of shit. It's John O'Clock, you worthless piece of shit.
This time we have JBL and Baron Corbin, who said the following quote: "He fought a perfect fight, Maggle. He only made one mistake." How do you fight a perfect fight when you made one mistake? Surely a perfect fight is no mistakes. I can tell one mistake for you, John. How about your bastard mother giving birth to you? It's a bit far, that. Sorry, John. Silly call, though, wasn't it? Silly call. I do not understand Jinder Mahal's carpet. Presumably the Singh brothers rolled it out on the floor just outside the Hummer limo ting so that Jinder's expensive shoes didn't have to touch the common grounds of Chicago. Because as we all know, expensive shoes should only touch raggedy carpets and have been kept in your granny's loft for over 30 years. The problem was, and the thing I don't get, is the carpet was only about 2 feet or maybe 3 feet by 3 feet, so if Jinder took 2 steps, he would have walked off the carpet and onto said common ground. How could they possibly transport Jinder without his expensive shoes touching the common ground, which was supposedly the point of the carpet? What would Jinder do? He couldn't take 2 steps forward, then the Singhs would lift up the back end, swivel it round to the front, Jinder walk 2 more, they pick up the back end again, round the front, they'd be walking all bastard, they'd miss his bastard match. I'll tell you what they'd do, because some facets of his gimmick are severely out of date, no doubt that carpet would have levitated. You know why? Because it's a magic carpet. I know what I said there was not racist, it's just outdated wrestling traditions. It's an environment which we've all been brought up in. Next you'll be telling me that Samoans don't have hard heads, and of course we know that every bastard Samoan has a really hard head, and they use it because it's hard. Oh, hard. And if it was a magic carpet, which I doubt it was because we're in 2017 and hopefully we've progressed from those sort of dark days. Next we have James Ellsworth claiming he is the Excelsior of elocution. Now if he intentionally meant to say elocution incorrectly, fair f***s, but then again, it's James Ellsworth, so he probably bloody didn't. I suppose the lesson here, for all of us, is never try to be something we're not, said the man dressed like this. And here's why. You will almost certainly fail. If you do succeed, you certainly won't be happy. Continuing to pretend to be somebody you're not will eventually see you crash and burn. To make things worse, before you crash and burn, you will likely push yourself further and further into the wrong direction. This will guarantee maximum failure before you fall apart. By the time you accept defeat, you will have caused damage to your mind, your body, your relationships, and your entire life as a whole. You are you, and only you. You may wish you were something else, but you never will be. You will always be you. Pretending to be somebody you're not for long enough will eventually cause you to forget who you really are. And here I am, offering life advice like that, completely lifted off some website that I haven't given credit to. Oh well, and all you thought this show was shouting and dick jokes. Well, it isn't, you dick? Damn, Kevin, back at it again with the miserable crowd shots that do nothing to further the atmosphere you are trying to create with the visual things. Becky Lynch is an uber babyface at the moment in WWE. She is popular AF. What do you want to do? You want to create a party atmosphere, show people liking her, make her appeal to new audiences. You know what'll do that? A picture of a baby child yawning. Once again, just like NXT, where that Mark, who looked like a little Ryback with hair, he was caught laughing at Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano's epic turn at the end. The moral of the story is don't use these shots. They are absolutely nothing. And when you do eventually get one that makes a little bit of sense, they're just pointless anyway. Who cares about marks? Not me, not the king of the marks. Proving internet virgins, wrong moment of the week. That's bollocks, that I want my money back. What's all of a finish with that? Cancel WWE Network. Wrong! Owens gets heat. Styles has a legitimate reason for losing without looking weak. Both men's momentum continues as the storyline progresses. Enjoy the ride, kids. Proving internet virgins, wrong moment of the week. If the main event match has not officially begun, then why the bloody hell are the Sings running away from Randy Orton when Randy Orton attacked Jinder Mahal before the bell rang? If the bell hasn't rang and the Sings interfere, they can't be DQ because the match hasn't started. Why aren't they the value? I'll tell you why. Pair of pussy holes. Brop. Brop. Pussy hole, say it ain't true. It started because of him and ended with you. Why don't they know the rules?
It's John O'Clock, you worthless piece of shit.
Here's a direct quote from JBL. Jinder getting guzzled by Randy Orton. First of all, I thought JBL only liked big muscular women, and second of all, I always thought last night's event was called Backlash and not Lash the Back Doors In. Giggity, 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 goo.
It's John O'Clock, you worthless piece of shit.
Now I know what you're saying, JBL falling over isn't much of a WTF moment these days. I know that, but it's JBL, so it's funny, and I'm going to keep doing it. You know why? You know why, don't you? You know why.
You worthless piece of shit.
So you know how Baron Corbin claimed he was literally going to murder Sami Zayn at Backlash? Well, while he failed, Randy Orton took that mantle and succeeded with aplomb. And by bugger me, didn't he know about the reckless bastard? That little smirk on his face. What a horrible man. What a horrible man. It was obvious that it wasn't planned. How can dropping someone on the back of the heat be planned? It was also obvious that Randy knew that he'd done flipped up. Yes, there's a PG movement happening at the moment. What can I do? His face looked like a slapped arse. But then again, after the week he had there, I suppose he was always going to throw somebody in the air just so they could take her And you know what's coming. Dive. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now I know you're all expecting this, so Jinder Mahal won. He's the new WWE champion. That means you need to grab 2 of each animal and head to the bastard border. Because if you went back 6 weeks and said Jinder Mahal will be the next WWE champion after Randy Orton, I'll have told you you were completely sane because it's a fantastic choice. But play the thing anyway. Keep the marks happy, Richard. Come on now.
The end is not. 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 The end is not.
Now, as we all know, I doubted Jinder at the start of this little push to the top of the card. I thought to myself, why are they picking him? He isn't very good. He's been lost in obscurity for long enough. Why aren't they picking somebody else? But then Jinder turned my opinion upside down. Some say he would flip reversed it, but bugger you, Blazing Squad. First of all, I like the makeup of his relationship with the Singhs. I like how the Singhs put their bodies on the line and make things uneven for Jinder. Classic heel work. Another thing I like is how Jinder always travels in a limo Hummer ting and likes to stand up the top and go, ugh. What's not to like about that? The things I don't like about Jinder, the spotty back. If you know anything about spotty backs in wrestling, it's quite incriminating, but I'm not suggesting anything. Jinder is 100% clean. He said so on Chris Jericho's podcast, so who am I to doubt him? Absolutely nobody. The outdated promos, they need to bugger off, but at the end of the day, everything else is good cushy for me. There's also a spot at the top of the heel ranks on WWE SmackDown Live, and Jinder is hated by everybody. Whether you think he's crap, or whether you think he's a bastard for cheating, or whether you think he's delusional for his speech, everybody hates him, apart from me. And no doubt a couple of you smarky bastards outside. It's heat, it's a heel, it's something different. Let's get on board. Let's give the guy a chance and see what he does with a belt over the coming week, shall we? Instead of shitting all over it. It's not my fault, and it's not his fault that change scares you. He will convert you into believer like a cobra snake thing. It's another stereotype associated with people from India. I guarantee. Oh no. Once again, that is just the environment we've all been brought up in as wrestling fans. Yes, it is. You know it is. I'm not being a racist. All I hope Jinder did last night, as well as getting his end away, because why the hell not, was to sit back with a load of carbs and enjoy himself. He deserves it. Now, as you know, here at WhatCulture.com, we simply can't take WWE's footage and insert it into our videos. That's not good practice. We don't own the footage. So then, to get around this and to provide you with a WTF moment that I think is just going to fill your heart with absolute unbridled joy, here is what the Hindi commentators reacted like when Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship. It's a dramatic reenactment. It's not the actual footage because it's not our footage to use. So here we go.
Number one. Number one. Number one. Number one. India, number one. India, number one. India, number one.
Go and find the actual footage on the internet. It is absolutely glorious. But one thing you can never, ever tell those two men, that Jinder Mahal was born in Canada. They must never know, or it's a good chance they will commit suicide. I've been King Ross. Jinder Mahal, all hail him. Bye.